everyone. Today I am joined by Mayank. He was also a fellow mariner who sailed up to the rank of second officer. And during his tenure, he also did his mates. But during his mates course, he realized that this is not something he wants and he wants to transition ashore. And that is when he decided to do a master's in supply chain and logistics from Antwerp Management School. And now he's currently working in procurement department in Belgium. And his journey really shows that what kind of mindset we require and how can a maritime professional can also transition to supply chain and logistics and have a rewarding career. So Mayank, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm really
Yes.
honored. And I hope, this podcast I can provide my whole insight and my experience to fellow mariners or whoever listening and wants to have a career change in their life.
Yes. So anyone who always thinks of transitioning, before that they must join Merchant Navy. The question always comes, why did you decide to join Merchant Navy and how was your sailing life?
Okay, so I'll just give my quick intro. I come from a small town in Uttar Pradesh. It's called Rampur, and I got this kick of joining Merchant Navy by seeing my one of my cousins who worked in Merchant Navy, and the lifestyle he was having. And I was just in school, and I got so much influence by the uniform and the salary and the global exposure he is having. And I thought, okay, why not? Why to go to a normal job in engineering, which we most science students do? I thought, okay, it's time to have a explore a new world and join Merchant Navy. After my 12th, I went for 1 year IIT coaching because that time I know Chanakya used to take cadets through through IIT extended merit list. But while pursuing my coaching, I realized now IMU has a new entrance exam, and I set for it and I cleared it and I joined IMU Kolkata campus, which is called Marine Engineering and Research Institute. And I finished my pre-C in 2011, and I joined Scorpio Tankers as a cadet. And then story goes, I just cleared my so I was a Scorpio cadet. I sailed there for 21 months, and after clearing my second mate, I joined Mideast Ship Management. It's called Bahari Ship Management. It's a national company of Saudi Arabia where I sailed as a junior officer, and I stayed there for 3 years. And after that, I switched to fleet until my last voyage in early 2021.
Okay. So then you were sailing, everything is going good. You just said that someone was there from your family.
Yeah.
But then when did you realize that, sailing is not for me and you considered moving ashore? When did that happen then?
Actually, I realized this even before COVID, but during pandemic, I decided to take the leap, transition to a different profession and build a career ashore. So it was after my last sail in 2021, I realized it's time to change a career.
Okay. So when you told this decision of shifting ashore to your family, were they very supportive or how was their reaction towards it then?
My family was very supportive. They always supported me in my decisions. So when I told my parents that I want to have a career change, initially they hesitated, like, oh, you already sailing and you're an officer now after so much struggles, like clearing exams and just following the pathway. But they supported my decision, and now I realize, it was for the better one.
Okay. So then when you decided of moving ashore, were you very sure that you want to pursue a master's first and then move to any kind of job role, or it just happened that you started looking out for opportunity? How did the master's come into picture then?
Actually, I was on a deck side, and for deck officers, especially when you're a junior officer, it's hard to just have a career switch when you are just second mate. So, I know that if I do masters, MSc or MBA, that will really help me in switching a job, in switching my career. But selecting a course which I wanted, that takes a time. I took 1 year of research that which course will suits my profession will and support me in my professional growth.
Okay. Then there's always this concept that whether you do a MBA or you do a MSc, because both have different outcomes. So how did you come to this decision of doing a MSc rather than doing an MBA? Because if you do an MBA, since you come from a diverse background from Merchant Navy, there is generally some advantage you have when you apply to good colleges as well. It might become little easier for mariners to get into those colleges. So then why did you decide of not doing an MBA and decided doing a MSc? What was the
Actually,
exact reason?
while doing my research for this 1 year, I chose MSc in global supply chain because I wanted a deep and specialized understanding of supply chain, logistics, and operations. While,
Okay.
like MBA provides a broad overview of business, but
Yes.
MSc allows me to focus specifically on the technical and strategic aspects of the supply chain, which
Okay.
directly aligns to my goal because I don't want it to learn the business side. I wanted
Yeah.
to learn the technical aspects of the supply chain. And
Okay.
MSc, the second point was like, MBA always cost you more because
Yeah.
when I was looking the minimum fees, if you look for colleges in US, UK, they are costing you around 50,000, 60,000. But MSc from a business school cost you
Yeah.
around less than $20,000.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
both wise, like learning wise and
Yeah.
cost savings, both were
Yeah.
involved in choosing
Okay.
MSc.
Okay, that's a very good approach of looking into the programs as well. But then,
Thank
do
you.
you think MSc, not just MSc, but supply chain is a very relevant career for mariners because we are a part of supply chain? So, how relevant doing an supply chain is for mariners then?
See, I would say if mariners enjoy planning, coordinating logistics, and problem solving in global trade, which we do,
Yes.
so I think choosing supply chain helps you in delivering those goals, in learning those things, and you can utilize your experience after
Okay.
gaining a degree in MSc because that's
Okay.
what we do on ships. We do
Yes.
planning, we do
Yeah.
problem solving skills day to day on the
Yes.
sea life. So that's
Yeah.
really helps in choosing this particular domain.
Okay. Then when you were looking, when you decided that you want to do a supply chains course, but then how did you decide on choosing Antwerp Management School? Was this a very specific location which you wanted because of Antwerp being one of the biggest ports, or was it what was the exact reason of choosing Antwerp Management, or were there any colleges as well which you had thought of for doing this
Yeah,
program?
yeah, like while I was sailing, I've been to Antwerp 2 3 times because of
Okay.
Antwerp port.
Yeah.
But choosing Antwerp Management School, it came because I wanted to pursue my MSc from like a good college.
Okay.
And while researching, I found out that Antwerp Management School ranks top 10. During my time, it was ranked
Yeah.
7th globally in QS ranking for this
Okay.
particular course.
Okay.
So I chose two more options, which were Rotterdam School of Management. Another was Cranfield in UK. But
Yes.
after analyzing more further the process of
Yeah.
the curriculum they have, the curriculum they are
Yes.
providing, I chose Antwerp Management School. And yeah, it was the best decision for me, I could say. So
Okay.
yeah, I had no regrets of going to Rotterdam or
Yeah.
UK, but
Okay.
being in Belgium is the best decision.
Okay. Then let's just look into the process of applying to this college. How does the application process look like for Antwerp Management School?
So their application process starts early year from January,
Okay.
February. You have to, fill the application form like normal other colleges. And
Yes.
then they check your experience, your
Hmm.
background, and then they conduct their own entrance exam.
Yeah.
And after that, you have your personal interview.
Yes.
And if you are worth it in those two, yeah, they will just select you. So it's not that a
Okay.
hardcore process, but yeah, they have
Yeah.
their own medium of selecting a candidate.
Okay. And
So they
during.
value your experience also. And
Okay.
because in my batch, there were students, those are very fresher, they just graduated and they're also
Yes.
in MS in my course. And there are also
Okay.
professionals who are working since last 5 years, 6 years, and they're also into the same course. So they wanted
Okay.
to have a combination of young students
Okay.
and the professionals. So that was a
Okay.
very advantage when you go. That was very advantageous if you are going for a study, so you'll have
Yeah.
all experiences like young ones and the old
Yes.
ones.
Yeah.
So doing project together, yeah, that was very knowledgeable and learning
Okay.
experiences.
Okay. So during this 1 year program, how does the 1 year look like? How is the class structure? Like, do you have only because in India, it's generally that you are taught everything by the professor, and then you have to take notes and everything. But in Europe and other countries, it's very much
True,
different. The
true.
learning medium and the way the classes are conducted are very different. So could you just walk us through how the classes are conducted for this program?
Yeah, like you said, Sachin, in Europe, yeah, they have more of a
Yeah.
practical approach in teaching.
Yes.
So rather than focusing on theory, we used to
Yep.
have practical classes like company visits, warehouse
Okay.
visits, and we used to have in-class projects where we
Okay.
used to given tasks or complex situations, and we have to handle as a supply chain profession.
Mhm.
So that was more learning, and it was like a 10-month course. And in 10
Okay.
month course they also have a in company projects where we as a intern selecting a company and working on their project for 3 months, going to their
Okay.
office. So before graduating, yeah, you had this experience that how will you work in the real corporate world.
Okay.
And many programs with other management courses. It's not just supply chain courses, you also get a chance to work with other masters courses like finance students,
Yeah.
HR students, maritime students, and you're
Okay.
working with them too on certain projects. So that
Okay.
was a very unique learning experience as a student, because I was very fresh to this
Yeah.
supply chain job. So I'm learning supply chain. I'm also learning different things from different students from
Yeah.
finance. And even in our course, they used to teach us finance, which was a very important subject now, I believe, while working in
Yeah.
corporate. So the structure itself is more on a practical side, not on a theory
Okay.
based.
Okay, that's very, a big change for, especially for mariners, because
Yeah.
we are, even till now we are learning things which we can say is are
Totally.
obsolete. Nobody uses on board, and coming to college where everything is practical, I think that's a very good
Yeah.
and new way of learning. So, were
Totally.
there any challenges in your mindset when you were approaching these kind of projects or everything? Because as you mentioned, it was very much practical oriented. So, was this much easier for you, or you had to rewire yourself to, or how challenging was it for
Yeah,
you?
it was. I would say it was a bit challenging for me
Okay.
because I sailed for 8 years and I was in my comfort zone.
Yes.
I know what to do for 8 years, but coming
Yes.
to this whole new world,
Yeah. Yes.
gaining new knowledge, working on new projects which I am not
Yeah.
aware of, I haven't
Yeah.
done. It was a
Yeah.
bit challenging, but the professors, even my batchmates, were so helpful in
Yeah.
just getting me more knowledge, getting me more experience.
Yeah.
So it was quite challenging if you're coming from a very different field, which we are
Yeah.
from marine. And
Yeah.
yeah, shore, everything is different on the shore side.
Yes.
So I would say it's not easy. It was a bit challenging. Yeah, challenges
The-
makes you strong,
Yeah.
more
Yes.
stronger than you were before. So yeah, it was a
Yes.
good experience for me, but
Yeah.
a bit challenging for sure.
Yeah.
Not an easy
But
task.
yeah, but I'm sure that your merchant navy experience might have helped you in some way or the other, or some of the skills that you brought from your maritime, or maybe the resilience or something would have helped you throughout your course. Was there
Yeah,
anything like
true.
that?
Correct. Yeah, true. Like we used to like planning, which is our
Yeah.
major
Yeah.
work profile when you're working
Yeah.
on board. So that really helped me because
Yeah.
if the whatever project you are working on that require planning and
Yeah.
the problem skills, solving skills which we learn
Yeah.
on board, that really helped me in tackling those projects
Yeah.
or tasks which were giving during my masters.
Okay.
And a bit knowledge of a global exposure or global trade, because
Okay.
like as a third mate we used to work
Yeah.
in port papers and everything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we were a bit aware about customs and how
Yeah.
global trade works. So that
Yes.
kind of helped me in my in class projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really helpful experience, marine
Okay.
experience, and I
Yeah.
took a good advantage of that
Uh,
while working in
de-
teams.
yeah, definitely. I think what we generally have advantages to our side is that we have already faced a lot of challenges on board, and
Correct.
facing challenges is not the big part. Just to get ourselves molded to the new structure, I think would be the only challenge you would have had. Otherwise, I think anyone, mostly mariners, can do anything because you have stayed on board for 7 months without any
Yeah,
much resources. You can do so many things, and I'm sure
yeah,
when you come ashore with
exactly.
that background, you can definitely do a lot of
With
things.
less resources, we work 24/7 on ships. So
Yes.
on shore, you have multiple resources where
Yeah.
you can take help of. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That always works. Then how was it, when you were planning from moving from India to Belgium? So how was
mm,
the process exactly? Because you are going to a new country. Everything
yeah,
is really new. You have to find accommodation. You have to get into the system. A lot of things happen, and there must be that generally you don't know anyone in that country. So how challenging was that part of moving to a new country for you then?
yeah. I would say that was the toughest task. Even
Yeah.
applying to a university or giving GMAT or exam was easy
Yeah.
ones, but after selection process, looking for a house and
Yeah.
moving your and working on your paperwork, that was a real challenges.
Okay.
But in my case, if I say, I think in Europe, generally universities do.
Okay.
Before coming to the country, they send you, booklet, a helpline
Yeah.
booklet where you
Yeah.
can find how to find a housing,
Yeah.
where to open an account, how to even they help you how to, get your visa done. So
Okay.
in my case, yeah, university helped me a lot. They
Okay.
give you every detail. You just have
Okay.
to click on the Google and start
Yeah.
looking for it. So for housing also they give me website links, and through
Okay.
that I get the housing, and that's
Okay.
how I worked on my visas with the guidance
Okay.
of the college. So yeah,
Okay.
universities they do help student when it's coming from outside
Okay.
EU or when it's coming
Okay.
from
Okay.
a different country.
Yeah, yeah, because I think there are separate deadlines for students coming outside of EU. I think it's by April you have to apply to the college and everything has to
Yeah,
be done. Even your visa and everything has for students. It's like this, and for students within the EEA region or EU region, their deadline is still I think June or July. So that
yeah. In
once you're
my case,
selected, you still have.
yeah, it was July, and
Okay.
my batch starts. And usually in my info management school, they starts
Yeah.
new batches from September. So
Yes.
June was the deadline to
Yeah.
fill the applications, and then you
Yeah.
have 2 to 3 months to apply
Yeah.
visa, look for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a tight schedule, but yeah,
Yeah.
we worked in tight schedules at sea. So
Yes.
for us, it's not that.
Yes.
But yeah, it
Yeah.
was a challenging task.
Yeah.
Because in market you have many
Yes.
scams,
Yes.
especially housing. Because I thought maybe it's Europe, they don't have any scams, but
But
then I got to know later that you have to be careful while looking for housing or just working on a
yes.
visa. Don't
Yes.
rely on any
Yeah.
unfamiliar
Agents
resource.
are. Yeah. Yeah, that is also one big part when anyone moves to a different country. When you move there, how are the people? Because in Belgium, people are not, what I know, people are not very, they might come as rude at times, but they are not being rude, they are being honest. So was this a cultural shock for you when coming to
Yeah,
Belgium?
indeed,
Or
indeed. But I would say Belgians are very sweet in that way.
yeah.
They
Yes.
accept,
Yeah.
multicultural thing.
Yeah.
So that was not a big problem, but yeah, a bit cultural shock. But luckily, on sailing, you used to visit
Yeah.
many new
Yeah.
countries
Yeah.
for a shorter time, but you still
Yes.
see the, different cultures. So
Yes.
not that shocking, but yeah, when you start living in a particular country, you got to
That's
know
different.
their culture. That's a
Yeah.
little different thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think you get used to it within 2 to 3 months of stay
Yeah.
because you have friends from the same country. They
Yeah.
teaches you about their culture, they
Yeah.
show you around. So it
Yeah.
was a bit cultural shock, but a manageable one.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially for
Then
a Marine, I think it's
yeah, yeah.
manageable.
It's I think for mariners, many things are very doable, but the only thing holding them back is not taking that leap and moving and
Exactly.
pursuing their dreams or whatever they want to do. I think we can always do a lot of things, but it's always us who is stopping us rather than
Correct.
anyone else. So
Because
then,
in Belgium, the only barrier was initially the language.
okay,
Here it's fine, people do speak English, so
yes,
language is not a barrier, but still a
yeah,
requirement when you're working professionally.
yeah,
You should know Dutch a bit, a certain level like A1 or
okay,
A2.
okay,
And if you know it, yeah, it will be beneficial for sure,
okay,
but not a negative point, but a
yeah.
positive point if you learn a new language for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But then in Belgium, it's also Dutch, French, and even some part of
Yeah,
German. So
they
it's
have three
always,
languages.
yes.
And the widely spoken is Dutch, but in their
Okay.
capital region, Brussels, they speak French, and a little
Yes.
part is German. But mostly they
Yes.
speak Dutch.
Yes.
They call it
Dutch. Yes.
Flemish. It's
Yeah.
a different dialect, but
Yeah.
like very much similar to Dutch.
Okay. Okay. So when you were doing this course, and did you feel that, this is a very good course for mariners? More mariners should be aware of such kind of courses, or do you think it's very personal to personal?
I would say, Sachin, it's personal to personal because
Okay.
I always suggest, like, I receive requests on LinkedIn or
Yeah.
on other platform, like, should
Yeah.
we do supply chain? I
Yeah.
always suggest if you are a mariner, especially from the nautical background,
Yeah.
first you decide which course you want to pursue,
Okay.
because we always consider as a fresh because our nautical science won't help in getting in different domain. So first, I would say you have to decide which particular course you want to do. But
Yep.
supply chain, because it has a different divisions like procurement,
Yep.
planning also includes material planning, logistics planning, and
Yes.
inventory management. And being
Yep.
a mariner, we are a
Yeah.
small part of logistics.
Yes.
You kind of related, but it's a whole new concept.
Yes.
So I would say, yeah, it's kind of relatable, but it's a whole new concept. But it
Okay.
gives you a broader way where you can, explore and grow.
Okay. Then once you are done with this course, did you ever feel that, a lot of skills are directly transferable from the maritime background to this kind of a course? Or were there anything like, as we also earlier mentioned, that planning, was there risk management or operations or leadership, anything like that, which helped you during this course?
Yeah, Sachin. I would say planning, risk management, and working in stressful conditions
Yeah.
really helped me. But
Okay.
as you are learning in
Yeah.
supply chain or any
Yeah.
particular new domain, yeah, you will be
Yeah.
taught, you will have
Yeah.
and they provide you the experiences.
Yes.
So you will learn things by
Yeah.
yourself in
Yeah.
college. So I would say
Yeah.
if even you are coming as a fresh candidate, you will
Yeah.
learn because the college, the curriculum they have, it's very useful.
Yeah.
They know how to teach a fresher and
Yeah.
how to teach an experienced person. So
Yeah.
you will learn while
Yeah.
you are pursuing your masters.
Yeah. So that is very relevant. And once anyone decides, okay, I want to do a master's, do you think there is a good time for anyone to do a master's? Let's say I am a fresh third mate. Just after that, it is a right time, or I am a senior master mariner. Is there according to you, is there a right time to do such kind of a career shift?
I would say, Sachin, there's not a right time for a career switch. But I would say if I had stayed longer and completed my chief mate or masters,
Yep.
I might have continued at sea. But
Okay.
transiting ashore into a different sector would have been more challenging without taking a leap when I did.
Okay. Okay.
So if you do a career switch in your early stage, it's always beneficial.
Yes.
But even if you decide after 40, yeah, you can do it, but learning new thing at 40 will be more challenging
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah, you will be tired of learning again and
Yeah.
again new things.
Yeah. Yeah.
For that way, yeah, transitioning early is okay, but if
Okay.
you have this hunger of learning at any stage, yeah, you can take a career switch at any stage. But
Okay.
to my personal experience, I would say the much before you do, yeah, it's more beneficial because
Okay.
then you don't have
S-
to learn at the
Yeah.
after 40.
Yeah. That's always the earlier you do, it's always better rather than having to wait
Always
and
better.
then
Yeah,
then realizing that I could have done this much earlier. So
correct.
you limit your potential later on then.
Yeah.
And once you completed your course, how challenging was it to find a job, especially in Belgium, where, as you already mentioned, it is somewhat required to know Dutch, even not
Yeah.
fully, but up to a certain level. So how
Certain.
challenging was it for you to find a job in?
Yeah, yeah, I would say like in India we have like campus
Yes.
recruitments,
Yeah.
but unlike India, here they don't have
Yeah.
campus placements.
Yeah.
You have to search on your own completely, but
Yeah.
college always supports you, like making your LinkedIn profile, how to
Yeah.
approach to organization. They
Yes.
conduct career fairs where you go personally. You
Okay.
have to go to the counter and introduce yourself, share
Okay.
your experiences, so everything you have to done by your own. So it's
Okay.
a like you have to apply for many applications, then you get few interview calls, and finally you get the right company. So
Okay.
it's not like college will help you in that, like
Yeah.
a campus placement. They provide you the skills. You just have to enhance it and
Yeah.
apply by all your own.
Okay. So how did you find your first role at M
Yeah,
then?
it was, yeah, I had to, send multiple applications,
Yeah.
especially to, English speaking roles only.
Yeah.
Though I finished my first level of Dutch, but it was not,
Yeah.
worth it, or it was not that helpful because first level
Yeah.
is a minimum skill
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can speak Dutch. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just took a help of LinkedIn and
Okay.
I reached to the open job vacancies, apply, send my motivation letter and call up for interviews.
Yeah.
So it was a long process, but it actually it was fun. We don't do back in India or in our marine
Yeah.
life, chasing companies on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was challenging, but I found it very exciting,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
made me more confident while speaking or while giving
Yeah.
interviews. So
True.
I'm very confident if I have to go for next interviews, because I have given many in the past. So anything new makes you more
Yeah.
wiser, I would say.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So
So
yeah, you have to do all your own here
yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah. So once you got selected, you joined your job at 3M. So
Yeah.
how was it first day at the office? Were you very excited because it was a big shift
Ah,
initially? Just you were working on board ships, which it's always when you join a first ship, there is the joining is a lot different. You have handover
yeah.
and takeover going on. Third mate or second mate or whatever, who is your whom you are relieving will tell you, this is how the ship is,
And then
and
you got
it's very different.
few hours to
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
handover thing.
Yes. Yeah. So on board when you're ashore when you're joining a new role, it's entirely different. So how was joining a new role, and getting used to a shore job life? So how was it for you then?
Yeah, it was like very, very exciting, honestly. And
Yeah.
when you once you join a new organization, they have like a training program. So it's not
Yeah.
you go first day and you start working on your task or your
Yeah.
role. They first provide you training. Then there will be a supervisor, who will help you throughout your initial phases, like two, three
Yes.
months.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a structured program how they train a
Yeah.
new joinee, new employee. So it was very exciting and
Yeah.
learnful. You will learn new things, but there'll
Okay.
always be someone who will help you. So
Okay.
it's easy when you're learning, but challenging when you are searching for a job.
Yeah, yeah. So now after that, you transition to Solventum,
Yeah,
and you are working as a procurement specialist.
yeah.
So for anyone who does not know what procurement is or what your previous role was, if can you briefly describe what a day in both the jobs look like?
Yeah, so I'll just start with my this latest job.
Yeah.
So like at Solventum, as a procurement specialist, I manage sourcing and procurement of for MRO materials. MRO
Okay.
means maintenance, repair, and operation across
Okay.
EMEA region. EMEA
Okay.
stands for Europe, Middle East, and
Middle East.
Africa. We have
Yeah.
plants in all these regions, and I
Okay.
manage all MRO related procurement activities. I
Okay.
identify suppliers, negotiate contracts, manage
Okay.
purchase orders, and update
Okay.
purchase requisitions, all while ensuring timely delivery. So that's my
Okay.
daily roles. But my
Yeah.
role also focuses on achieving cost savings for my
Yeah.
company, cost
Yeah.
avoidance, and that comes through, supplier negotiations,
Yes.
optimizing resourcing, and
Yeah.
efficient procurement processes. So it's a
Yeah.
very, I would say, exciting job, very
Yeah.
challenging also, but
Yeah.
it gives you every day you wake up, you get new tasks, new
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah.
And as a mariner, we love solving
Yeah.
problems, be it at sea or be on land.
Yeah. Yeah. So, even what I generally feel is, when we are looking at shore job roles, there are certain part of those jobs, like let's say, as you mentioned, procurement specialist. We have not what you are doing at that scale. We have never done that on board, but at a smaller level we have always done. We are
Yeah,
yeah, we always raising requisition and everything. Although some companies onboard staff has the authority to negotiate the price or decide the price and talk to different vendors and then finalize what they want to do. So I think a lot of few small skills are always there, and which you can always use it in a way to, I think, better work ashore
correct,
maybe.
correct. Yeah, like we used to select supplier, even like for galley provision.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
used to make requisitions kind of thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
requisition, but
Yes.
it was not a
At a
direct
very
way.
yeah, yeah,
Here
but
we are
at
facing face to face suppliers, but we
yeah.
did a bit
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
sailing. Yeah,
Yeah. So it is always what I try to tell people is that it is not something very difficult or you cannot do it. It's just that you have to have confidence in yourself that you can
correct,
take on this challenge and move ahead. Because even when you went on board as a fresh cadet, nobody taught you what to do on board.
correct.
You took up, you learned, and then you succeeded and you spent some time over there, and eventually you got successful in that career. So it's similar way ashore. Just have to take the leap
Yeah, you
and
just need to channel, because I even at present I speak with many people from marine
yeah,
who wants to change career, but they are
yeah,
so scared. They said,
yeah,
"Is it worth it? Do we get a job?" Okay, I
yeah.
understand those fears are
Yes.
natural, but
Yes.
if you want to take a leap, just take it.
Yeah.
But first plan it, do a
Yes.
research. Don't go
Yeah.
to XYZ university because you
Yeah.
want to go there.
Yes.
have a good research, which course you want to go, which
Yeah.
universe, because university and that particular course will decide your future journey.
Yes.
Because I know people go to UK these days, but they have
Yeah.
recession a lot,
Yeah.
and people avoiding choosing like Belgium, Netherlands. But here
Yeah.
market is nice, so first
Yeah.
do some research and
Yeah.
then have a career switch.
Yes, yes. It is always that people don't want to even research as well. They
Yeah,
generally
of
just they
course.
want everything on the plate. That, you know what, I want to transition.
Mhm.
Tell me what is best for me. They never even take the time and effort to
Yeah.
research themselves what is good for them. Because I also remember when I was looking to move, I was looking through a lot of websites and a lot of colleges and everything. So I was deciding on, okay, this is how much I am willing to spend on my education. This is the
Correct.
amount of time I want to spend. People even don't have these questions when they want to apply. All they say is, you know what, I want to move ashore, and they will say, I want to move abroad. So tell me how to do it. But you have to do certain level of research from yourself. You have to
Exactly.
put in the
Exactly.
effort.
At least you should do some research before. I
Yeah.
always suggest people when they ask, can we come here for this course? I said, what you want to do first
Yes.
decide that, because
Yes.
maybe you won't find supply chain interesting
Yes.
domain, then you'll say,
Yeah.
oh, it's a wrong domain, but you
Yeah.
already invested your time, your
Yeah.
money. So I would say first find out which particular course you want to do. Either you
Yes.
want to do some maritime related course or
Yes.
a different domain like supply chain,
Yeah.
because supply chain is a very big sector market. Even if you
Yeah.
see like Tim Cook,
Yeah.
former CEO, or
Yeah.
like many CEOs like from General
Yes. Yes.
Motors,
What's up?
they have a
Yeah.
supply chain
Yeah.
roots now.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
industry are realizing supply chain professionals value. So,
Yeah.
but it's up to a person. They have to do some research at least before
Yes.
asking questions or applying.
Yes. Yes.
Then you will be, sure you will have that confidence. Okay, I want to do this, not that.
Yes. Yes. So
because
it's all.
because people give suggestions freely,
Yeah.
but it's up to you. You want to
Yeah.
take it,
Yeah.
and you are confident in that. For that, you
Yeah.
need to research by
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I think because people have a very wrong approach of asking the questions and not like, let's say, if you want to move ashore today, what I would generally suggest anyone is that you first think what you want to do. And it always sounds very vague when people tell you this, first find out what you want to do. And as a mariner, we always think, I don't know what I want to do. Then that is the biggest challenge that you have to first tackle, that what you want to do. Because once you move ashore, it might get very difficult for you to transition to a different segment altogether, and you
Correct.
cannot every few years keep on moving from different industry to different industry. People will not take that bet on you. So first
Correct.
you have to be very sure what you want to do, and that will only come when you research a lot about what kind of roles are there in the market.
True, true.
People do.
At the end,
Yeah.
you will be at your own.
Yes.
You are the one who have to face all the challenges, all the
Yes.
hardships. If you don't know where you are going to, so yeah,
Yeah.
that makes no sense, or it will be
Yes.
very
Yes.
it might go into the right direction for your
Yeah.
future
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yes.
Because I know some people quit marine, they started something new, or
Yeah.
they pursue some other masters, and they
Yeah.
came back to the sailing because they
Yeah.
say, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was very different." They were not thinking of that, so that's the only
Yeah.
reason, because they didn't do research
Yeah.
before quitting shipping or applying
Yeah.
to a new role. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
research
think.
is most important.
Yeah. And also, you have to take a well informed decision on what exactly it is. Because if you take a decision in just a whim that, I just want to do it, then
Yeah,
that might work sometimes, but it may mostly happen that it will not work for you. And then you eventually will have to come back to see, okay, that is where the notion comes in. When you are sure, then also things might go wrong. But when you
correct,
are unsure, then also things might go wrong. So you have to keep your attitude in a way that, okay, when you are very scared of taking decision, then you have to think, okay, what is the worst that can happen? One
correct.
or 2 years will go, at least I will not be thinking that I did not take that decision. And
True.
even if anything goes wrong, I can always come back to see. That is always there. Nobody's taking that from you. Even if today any both of us, we want to decide, I want to go back to see, what we have to do, we just have to revalidate our certificates and we can go back. But that is
True.
always going to be there. The only thing you have to think is, if I'm feeling that, I'm not sure, then do your research, do everything, and then come to a decision. Okay, this is something which interests me, and I want to take, a
Yeah,
direction towards this side, and then focus on that. And if anything goes wrong, you can always come back to see. But
yeah,
that should be your decision, not
correct.
because things didn't work out the way you wanted, and at the end you are forced to come back. It
You
should be
know,
that
and
then you decided eventually, okay, you know
true.
what, I have seen this life now, and I think sailing is better for me, but not that. Yeah.
Because for us, going back is always an option, but you have already,
Yeah.
invested your time, your money in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
different course or
Yeah.
in a different
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
experience, and going
Yes.
back, like you're wasting your
Yeah.
time, especially. I would say that's the
Yes.
most important thing that never
Yes.
comes back.
Yes.
And I would always say, after you finalize any university or course, at
Yeah.
least have a talk with a person who is
Yes.
already there in the
Yeah.
same industry. And
Yes.
LinkedIn is a perfect,
Yeah.
example for that. You can approach on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
ask for his or her advice,
Yeah.
and then you can, have 100% stamp on your decision.
Yeah.
But do research and consult from an experienced person, not from
Yes.
any person. Just
Yeah.
from an
Yeah.
experienced person who already gone through the same experiences
Yes.
and still in the same industry which
Yeah.
you want to get into.
Yes. So, as you mentioned LinkedIn earlier as well when you were looking for a role.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the importance of LinkedIn for anyone looking to move ashore? How can it be beneficial, and how can they start using LinkedIn to better formulate their decision of moving ashore?
Yeah, for me, I think LinkedIn is the only platform which is very helpful in, deciding your jobs or
Yeah.
even knowing about your new courses, about universities, because that's a professional website and there are
Yeah.
many professionals where you can ask for.
Yeah.
Because with my personal experience, I would say, yeah, LinkedIn helped me at every stages. So it's a very, instead of using Facebook, I would say people who are professionals and want to have a
Yeah.
career switch or
Yeah.
want to know about the university or what's going on in the professional world, yeah,
Yeah.
please go on LinkedIn and be regular there. You will,
Yeah.
it's just not a job pro platform. It that gives
Yeah.
you a professional knowledge as well.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
the real updates and how what supply chain future will be, what maritime role future will be. You have all the
Yeah.
articles on LinkedIn by the professionals who are
Yeah.
serving the same industry since many
Yeah.
years. So
Yes.
LinkedIn, yeah, it's a very very informative tool, I would say, and
Yeah.
very useful.
Yeah, I think it's also very relevant that when you are doing your research, as we earlier mentioned, LinkedIn is the best platform because in LinkedIn you can just go and search which college you are looking into, and you can always put a filter as well. Okay, I want to look if any
Yes.
second officer or third officer has graduated from this college or not. And when you search that, a lot of people will come in and just send them
Yeah,
the
yes.
request and ask the questions which you have, which you feel
Yeah,
that okay, this might help me in making a well-informed decision. Always.
that's how you can make a full use out of it.
Yes, and also, but do you think, as you also mentioned, I'm sure many people are contacting you for
Yeah.
moving ashore. Do you think is there a way or any questions which are always repeated, and you think this at least they can always avoid asking because or the
Yeah,
way to approach the situation is not right. Can you give any incident
yeah.
examples?
The question which tops the list is, do we get a job after this course?
Okay,
But I suggest them first at least get yourself enrolled in that
okay,
course,
yeah,
and don't think that university gives you a campus placement thing.
yeah,
That doesn't happen here.
yeah,
You have to search on your own. But do we
yes,
get a job is a first question, and the top listed question people ask me who wants to change marine field or want to
yeah,
explore new things. So that's the top question. And second is about the fee structure, which they always ask.
yeah,
But that you can always find on the university's website. They have openly show it the
yeah,
fee structure. And afterlife, people ask, do we have career growth? But I would say that's a very futuristic question. First, at least
yeah,
get yourself enrolled and work
yeah,
on your skills improvement.
yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah, then you will surely get it.
yeah,
If you try for it, you will certainly get it. There's no reason
yes,
you won't get it.
yeah,
But I would say, like coming to a non-English speaking country, yeah, it's a bit struggle. But if
yeah,
you command in their language, then
yeah,
all doors are open for you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, in non-speaking country, a
yeah,
non-English speaking country, a language is kind of barrier,
yeah,
not a not a
yeah,
blockage to your career
yeah,
path.
yeah,
Because right now I speak a little Dutch, but it's not
yeah,
stopping me in growing in my
yeah,
career path.
yes,
But yeah, but I will certainly learn,
yes,
feed my
yeah,
more levels for my
yeah,
future growth.
yeah, definitely. And also, I think it's always good. to, when you are contacting someone, first get answers yourself for the obvious questions which you feel like, as you mentioned, fee
Yeah.
structure, whether you will get a job or not. These few things you can always get on internet and everywhere. With today's day and age where chat gpt is also there, a very good friend of yours, you can always ask chat
Yeah.
gpt or other AI platforms. They will always give you very detailed answers. But then the questions I think which people should be asking should be more focused on finalizing your decision or about their personal experience, rather than asking the general questions of how the fees
Correct.
is, how many months. Many people just, they come, what, I want to do this course, so please start and tell me about everything about this course. Like some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are,
yeah. That's everything. I say, oh my God, I cannot type that much. Please,
yes,
please shorten your question because yeah,
yes,
those also I receive such questions. Can you tell me how to apply? Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's can be okay, but you should be more focused on what the course looks like. You know,
yeah,
what subjects, what structure the course has. Do I gain this knowledge? Because
yeah,
from nautical science, where we'll go will be a fresher.
yeah,
So if course has a good structure, then only you will learn,
yeah,
and that will
yeah,
be helpful when you're going for your interview,
yeah,
because interviewer they do ask
yeah,
technical
yeah,
questions.
yeah,
If you have a good curriculum you have good curriculum, good course structure,
yeah,
then you will be able to answer those questions. So they should be more focused on the structure, how will be the
yeah,
education structure would be,
yeah,
rather than
yeah, yeah,
asking general question about the job.
yeah,
Or okay, I can understand that's one of the concern, even I
yeah,
had that concern while switching,
yeah,
but I was more focused on will I learn a lot
yeah,
in this course or not.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
my main motive,
yeah. Also,
also for choosing Antwerp
yeah,
management school, because of
also,
their structure,
yeah,
academic
yeah,
structure, and
yeah.
learning experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I think I think it is a very wrong question, but many seafarers, they bluntly ask is how much I am going to get after this course,
Yeah,
or how much
oh.
or, or
Also,
how much I,
so that's the second,
yeah,
top asked question. So first
yeah,
was, do I get a job?
yeah.
Or second is, yes, salary.
Yeah, yeah. So how much I generally bluntly ask you, how much are you getting paid? How much are you getting paid? And people fail to realize that this is not a shipping job. It is a very rude to ask anyone how much they are earning.
Yeah,
You should
exactly.
not ask these kind of questions. All these things are always available on the internet, and they are very approximate figures. You don't have to ask, because people are on board. Okay, I'm working on this ship. This company is giving me $4,800 as a second officer.
Correct.
What is your company giving you? If your company is giving you giving more, then I will come to your company. This is
Mhm.
not how things work, Ashok. You have to be very respectful to people, to the people you're asking the questions.
Correct.
I think that that is very important, because I made this mistake once of asking this, and after that I
Okay.
realized, I did this is not a good thing to ask anyone, because the person
Because
who I asked,
you can understand, we had
yeah,
this thing in our back of the
yeah,
mind about
yeah,
sell, but that you can,
yeah,
anytime find on the internet. And
yeah, yeah,
they always give you a range. You cannot say a
yes,
perfect figure, because that
yes,
your salary in corporates really depends on
yes,
your skill, your experience.
yes,
So it's not a
yes,
one figure. It could
yeah,
be a range. I can say
yes,
the
yes,
range, but yeah, it's
yeah,
initially
it is,
it's not good to go for the
yeah,
salary. Just have your degree, but at least get a fresher job. When
yes,
I started, like 3M, it was a entry level job.
yes,
So I didn't had this thing, okay, I worked 8 years, should I
yeah,
go
yeah,
for a
yeah.
fresher job? No,
True, true,
take a fresher job, start, learn. And
yeah,
after 1 year, I was lucky, I got promoted. I become a procurement specialist. Here
yeah,
it's called like procurement manager, but in
yeah,
Belgium it's a specialist. So yeah,
yeah,
I was lucky enough to get it, but yeah, I worked
yeah,
for it. But I started at a fresher level.
yes.
So
So
you just have,
yeah,
and you will get
yeah,
to know, learn
yeah,
more if you
yeah,
go for a fresher job.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
asking salaries, yeah, it's not a
yes,
perfect figure, so it's very
yeah.
hard to answer.
Yeah. Also, it is also rude, and also, as you correctly mentioned, it is also variable, because
Very
company has a
yeah,
certain budget, and they, depending on the kind of experience someone brings in and how much, there are various factors which go into that. No, so nobody can always tell, and it might happen that I tell you X amount, and the company is willing to give you less than that or
yeah,
more than that. That can
true.
also happen, and which should not. So it's always good to keep your expectations always low when negotiating, I think. So that is also one thing which I think people should avoid when asking such
I think
questions
that
to.
that thing you can do with HR, when
Yes,
you're
yes,
giving your
yes,
interview.
yes, yes, yes. So, and then also when they are, when any not they, when anyone is asking questions, always they've also other questions related to very specific things they ask. How do I do the application, or how do I apply for visa? I think these all things are very you should not be asking such kind of questions on over LinkedIn to professionals, because
Yeah, yeah,
I think there are many other services and other people available for that. Always, I think at the end of the day, focus on what is relevant to their experience. Let's say if someone comes tomorrow to you, I think the only thing they should be considering is how was your experience in the college, what would you recommend anyone doing this, and what were the challenges you faced. That's all. And
correct.
any other specific questions you have related to that,
Correct.
only to the course, rather than just, how do I apply for the visa, how do I go for the medical test. Unless that person has become a very good friend of yours, don't
Correct.
ask such questions to
Yeah,
the
because you are asking some random person, and
yeah.
even for the random person, maybe
Yes.
he's busy,
Yeah.
he's not getting
Yeah.
time, he
Yeah. Yeah.
she's,
Yeah.
and when you don't answer, yeah, the other person will feel, oh, he's getting rude. But yeah,
Yeah.
how
It's
can
not.
I suggest
Yeah.
visa, because I know only about Belgium, and I would
Yeah.
say ask your university, because
Yes.
university they do help in
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
getting all the details,
Yes. Yeah.
and you can Google it, or like you said, such you can go for any visa
Yeah.
agency. But
Yeah. It's a
your main focus should be on the
yes.
the
Correct.
course side, university
Yeah.
selection. That's
Yes.
more important rather
Yes.
than thinking about salaries
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
or
Because I think the mindset shift should be in a way that, okay, I am transitioning to a very new industry now, and
true.
my focus should be on securing a place for myself in this industry. Rather
Yeah,
than going, I have spent 8 years at sea. Okay, I understand you should not be just settling down for anything, but then
yeah,
you should also be open enough to, if someone is giving me a chance, I should be open enough to take that chance. And that comes, as we also mentioned, that it is the earlier you move, easier it will be for you to make such decisions. The later you do this transition in your career, the difficult it is going to get
yeah,
for
yeah,
you, because
exactly.
when you don't have any liabilities on you, you can always settle down for a job which pays you 2,500 euros a month, which is a initial entry level good salary in Europe. But
Yeah,
when you have a lot of liabilities, even 4,000 euros may be very short for you. But because of that notion which you have in your head that I want 4,000 euros salary only, then things will
yeah.
start getting difficult for you, and you might lose out on things which could have already progressed your career. This is my always,
And I
I
would
try to,
say, if you are doing such thing, always remember the reason why you are
yeah,
changing your job.
yes, true,
Because for me, the main reasons while changing the job was like
yeah,
personal life. Like I was
yes,
missing important life events, which mostly
yes,
mariners do.
yeah,
Work life balance, because shore
yeah,
jobs usually gives allows a more regular routine
yeah,
compared to a 3 to 9 month sailing.
yeah,
And third was the career progression and opportunities, because at
yes,
shore you have multiple
yes,
opportunities to explore
yes,
and grow. So
yeah,
if you are keeping these things in your mind, then you don't have to look at the negative things. Like,
yes,
should I change now? Because for
yeah,
me, these things are important,
important,
and I know I can get it ashore,
yeah,
not at sea.
yes,
I used
correct,
to love sailing, but I wanted, these were the three
yes,
pushback reasons for
yes,
me, and I
yeah,
think I'm getting all these three things while
yes,
staying in
yeah,
Belgium. So I'm
true,
happy with my decision,
yes,
and I know
yes,
why I quit the marine field. So you
yeah,
should know your reasons first.
yeah,
Just not
yeah,
you're getting bored or you
yeah,
just want to just
yeah,
change for the
yeah,
experience. No,
yes, yeah,
first
that's a
you have
very,
those three pushback reasons, only then switch it.
yeah, yeah. Also, I think right
Yeah,
now in the industry, many people are seeing that a lot of people are moving ashore. So also want to move ashore, because I can
yeah.
see that they are getting success. I
That's an
think this is
option.
also, yeah,
People do that
yeah, and
without just without any having thing in their mind. They just want to
yes,
quit because someone he know just changing the jobs, but there was no particular reason for it.
yes, 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 yes. Because I have seen, because many friends tell me that, yeah, you have moved ashore. I also, and also there's also a very rude thing which people always ask is, you know what, I'll just give an example. He was a bit junior to me, and he was a second mate now. He got promoted to second mate. So
Okay.
he asked me, how did you get your job? So I said I applied for it. There was an opening, so I applied for it. So he said that, okay, I am also a second mate, so now I also want this job. So tell me, how do I get this job? Told him, when an opening will come, you will, if you apply and if you get selected, then you will get a job. He said, no, 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 you have everything which I have. So what is different in you? And arre, this is so these. I think the people have not, sometimes that way to portray
True,
their
true.
questions is not right. They don't think before speaking. As they said, the person said that, I am also second mate. I also have sea time. So why do you have the job and I don't? I said, it is all about the opening. It is not like a ship
True, yeah.
where a second officer position is there. So once I sign off, you can always come in. Company only requires one person for this job, and I had relevant experience, so they hired me. Now if there is no position, so how do I tell you that you can come to my company and start working,
Like
because there is no
Sachin,
position.
there's a saying, other side is always greener. So
Yeah, yeah,
when you are at sea, you always say, I wish I could get a shore job.
yeah,
I would say, yeah, okay, shore job are not easy. They are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
difficult, complex. But if you like, I have three reasons to quit
yeah,
shipping, and those
yeah.
three reasons are fulfilling in my corporate
Yes,
life. So I'm
yeah,
happy.
yes,
If you have
yes,
no reason, just you are quitting just for the sake
yeah,
of your friend or because he
yeah,
quit it and he's
yeah,
doing something else, that
yeah,
shouldn't be a reason. If you
yes,
have your reasons, yeah, then you will be happy at your
yes, yes, true.
corporate job as well.
True, true. It is always that what your expectations are from a shore career, because you have to set your expectations right. If you have very fancy expectations from a shore job, then you will be disappointed whether you stay ashore or you are on board, because
True, yeah.
you are not. Yeah, so you have to keep your expectations right, I think, and that is
Rather
only
you'll be
what
in
will
that
take you forward.
continuous loop. You'll just think,
Yeah,
did I did wrong or was I
yeah,
correct? You'd always be
yeah,
in that, circular
yeah,
loop and there
yeah.
will be no end to it.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on forward. So apart from doing a master's from Antwerp Management School, did you do any other courses apart from the master's program? Did you do any certification or any courses to add on to your CV or?
Like I would say, Sachin, with my experience, yeah, like in
Yeah.
my university, they provides you certification which are required. Like we have
Okay.
ERP systems,
Yes.
enterprise resource
Yes.
planning, which is commonly used. So my college, they provided me a certification course on that. So I had that
Okay.
training during while I was pursuing my
Mhm.
masters,
Mhm.
and I we had like Excel training and data analytics training. So
Mhm.
yeah, those are the other skills which required, but you can develop this with time to time, and
Okay.
it also
Okay.
depends on your profile.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
need that thing in your
Okay.
job, if you need it,
Okay.
then you surely learn it. So
Okay.
other than that, you don't, I think your degree itself is enough to get an
Yeah.
entry, but after
Okay.
that, the skills which are required in your job, you have to
Yeah.
just
Okay.
develop by yourself, or you will get a training on
Okay.
your
Okay.
company.
Okay. So, but yeah, as you mentioned, there were three reasons for you, and they always got fulfilled, and you are happy, ashore. But just to ask,
Yeah.
was there any time when you felt, this decision is not right? I should have
Yes,
continued sailing.
yes,
Was
there
there
is.
any point?
See, it's been I think 4 years since I quit Marine, and there was not
Yeah.
a single day I was regretting about it. I'm
Okay.
happy
That's
because I had those three
yeah.
reasons, and they are fulfilling it. So there's no
Yes.
reason for me of
Yeah.
regretting my decision.
Yeah. True. That's very very nice. Very happy
Yeah.
to hear that. And also,
Because I had my reasons, so yeah.
yes. True. 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 And if looking back, do you think, given a chance to start your journey again, would you do anything differently today, or you will keep everything the same?
That's a good question. I guess, Sachin, as of now,
Yeah.
I have no such,
Okay.
if I had a chance, I would have started differently. No, I think because I did research, so
Yes.
the college I
Yes.
chose, the
Yeah.
course I
Yeah.
selected,
Yeah.
I think that's all
Yeah.
go into the right direction.
Yes.
So if I
Yes.
had a chance, I would still choose the
Yes. Yes.
same course, same college,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
same profile
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
my professional journey. So there's
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing I want to,
Yeah.
start from the
Yeah.
scratch.
Yeah. This is where I would like to add on that when you do thorough research and make a well informed decision, these
Exactly.
kind of things will never happen with you. You will always be happy with what you're having right now. You will be very content with the things that you did, and there will not be many regrets in your life. But if you take decision in a whim, then things will not always be
Yeah,
good for you.
you'll always be disappointed with your
Yes.
decision.
Yes.
You'll always have negative excuses. Oh, why I did that. But if
Yeah.
you do proper research, proper
Yeah.
exploring the opportunities, you will never be regretted with your decision.
Yeah. And moving on from here, do you have any advice for other junior officers who are thinking to move ashore, or any recommendations which you have, which you think should be highlighted always?
I would say mariners, if they want to have a career switch
Yeah.
and they enjoy, like I said, they enjoy planning and problem solving in global trade. And
Yeah.
if they like optimizing operations or working with suppliers or team assured, then
Yeah.
supply chain can be a natural fit because I have experience, other than marine, I have experience in supply chain, and I
Yeah.
say it's a very exciting industry where
Yeah.
you will every day have a new tasks, new
Yeah.
challenges. So it's a fun
Yeah.
working in this industry, and
Yeah.
with complex challenges you are learning more and advancing yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So I just have a one question to you, that do you ever feel that you will be coming back into the maritime industry, or you think you will be focusing only on the supply chain and core supply chain and logistics company?
For now, Sachin, I'm just focusing on core supply chain
Okay.
companies because,
Okay.
like I said, supply chain has a
Yeah.
different domains. Like
Yeah.
procurement is one of them.
Yeah.
Another is, material and production
Yeah.
planning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another is inventory management. So yeah, I want to try other domains as well in the future.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because this industry has a lot to teach you, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
stick around it and
Yeah.
give my time, my next 5 to 10 years into
Yeah.
learning these
Okay.
different domains and
Okay.
excellencing myself in supply
Yeah.
chain management.
Okay. And let's say someone wants to move ashore and do such kind of a master's program. How can they prepare themselves financially and mentally and academically for such kind of courses and such kind of decisions?
I would say, like, for financially, like I said, select, like I chose MSc
Yeah.
for the, deeper knowledge also, and
Yeah.
also it was cost effective. So
Yeah.
I would say if you're planning rather than going for MBA, I would suggest them go for MSc. And
Okay.
academically, I think you don't, it depends on college to college,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
requirements. So I cannot,
Yeah. Yeah.
evaluate,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
but I know the qualification which we have, I think it's enough
Yeah.
because we also have
Yeah.
experience, and that
Yeah.
experience counts when
Yeah.
you are applying for the
Yeah. Yeah.
colleges. So they consider this experience, though it's out of that field, but they
Yeah.
do consider because we are
Yeah.
professionals.
Yeah.
So if you're planning, yeah, I would say just go for it,
Yeah.
but select the right course, I would say,
Yeah.
and select the right college, right
Yeah.
country also.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, yeah, do a good thorough research.
Yes. That's the always the end thing which is coming, that do your proper
Because I
research.
experienced it and I
Yeah.
realized that was the most beneficial for me because I
Yeah.
researched it, and that's still helping me in
Yeah.
my career path.
Yeah. And let's say also one question which always comes is, do you think for mariners, especially junior officers, there are better opportunities abroad than in India?
I would say yes, because even if you see like most of the shipping companies or like instrument companies, they have
Yeah.
they are based in Europe. So
Yeah.
even not in supply chain, like we have many offshore industries here
Yeah.
of shipping industries where you can easily apply if you have even
Yeah.
not done supply chain course. So,
Yeah.
and like Europe is surrounded by water and they have all the big
Yeah.
shipping companies,
Yeah.
small companies. So yeah, I would say you have more scope here, but
Yeah.
it's still up to you, like you want
Yeah.
to go out of India
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
want to stick to India. It's
Yeah.
up to a personal choice, but I would say, yeah, here you will have more opportunities, and I would say a more stable life
Yeah.
and great work
True.
life balance. Here people respect your rest hours and your
Yes.
work, whatever you are
Yeah.
doing, that would be appreciated by your
Yeah.
seniors. So in
Yeah.
that field, yeah, I would say junior officers, yeah, you can select or come to Europe, but
Yeah.
it's up to
Yeah.
your
It's always
decision,
there. Yeah.
and do a proper research whether you
Yeah.
want to stick to India
Yeah.
or move out of India.
Yeah. Also, relating to that, one question which always people ask is, what, I want to move abroad. So tell me, how can I move abroad? So do you think getting a master's education from the colleges in that country are the only relevant and right way for, especially for mariners? I'll not say, because IT professional, other candidates can directly get jobs from India itself, but for mariners, do you think getting an education in the country you desire to be is the only right and the only way you can land yourself a job in that country?
I would say, Sachin, that's not the only way, but that
Yeah.
always give an advantage
Yes.
from a country where you are studying. It's easy to get a job or to
Yeah.
stick there. If you're
Yeah.
coming, if you are applying from while in India and you're applying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Belgium or Netherlands or UK, it will be
Yeah.
difficult. But if you're pursuing going for
Yeah.
masters to that country, it's easy to land a job there.
Yes.
But it's not the only option. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can make your profile on LinkedIn and start applying. Maybe
Yeah.
like you said, Sachin, it's all depends on the openings. If they have
Yes.
openings and your
Yeah.
skills are suiting to the requirement, they will hire you. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you're studying, that always give you an advantage
Yeah.
in getting jobs.
Yeah.
So it's
True.
a advantage, but not a only way
Yeah.
to switch your career if you're a
Yeah.
mariner.
Yeah. True.
But for
And
nautical, for nautical science, I would say
Yes.
it's
It's
it's an important thing to
yeah.
study
Yes.
outside, because nautical science related roles
Yes.
are very less
Yes.
assured if you and
Yes.
if when you are a junior officer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say I have
True.
a master's degree and
Yeah.
just
That opens
continue
your
with it.
a lot of doors. Yes, true. So moving on from here, so someone is in supply chain, and it's always their personal journey. So what do you think you see yourself doing in the next coming few years, and how do you see yourself self progressing in the career?
Yeah, like I will just use my marine experience here, because I know mariners bring strong
Yeah,
operational,
yeah,
logistical, and global trade
yeah,
experience, and which
yeah.
is very valuable in supply chain as well and in
Okay.
procurement.
Yeah,
So over the next 5-10 years, there will be increasing opportunity for mariners for sure in
yeah,
sourcing, logistics planning, because
yeah,
we have this experience in
yeah,
while sailing,
yeah,
and specializing in industries with global operations, because we on while being on board, we do global operations. So I would say, yeah, the role will be more for
yeah,
mariners in procurement, but
yeah,
you have to have a some academically
yeah,
qualification to get into it.
yeah,
So better have a, maybe I would not say go for a master's. We have a certification courses as well. There are many
yeah,
institutes which provide you a certification course, and
yeah,
it's like 6 months or 3 months courses.
yeah,
You can also do that and try your to settle abroad in a procurement job.
yeah.
But yeah, having an academically edge will always give you a benefit in your career
Yeah.
journey.
Okay. Okay. I think anyone who listens to this will have a very good clarity on going to a supply chains role and selecting if they want to come to Antwerp for Antwerp Management School's program. I think anyone, all the questions should be answered in this. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
I would say regarding AMS, yeah, they are really
yeah,
helpful. If you
yeah,
want to apply for
yeah,
this particular course in that
yeah,
particular college, yeah, I would say the university is very helpful. Don't be, don't feel hesitant. Just
yeah,
apply, go through the selection process, and college will definitely guide you
yeah,
on the
yeah,
further processes.
yeah. Then thank you, Mike, for doing this. I think
Thank you,
any
Sachin. Yeah, it was my first podcasting, and
yeah,
I'm very happy. I was very happy and excited, and now
yeah,
very
yeah,
satisfied with this thing. Maybe my knowledge and
yeah,
experience
yeah.
will
Sure,
help
because
other persons solving their
yeah,
doubts and clearing their
yeah,
mind
yeah,
what to choose, what
yeah,
not to do.
yeah.
So
So
thank you,
I
Sachin, for
yeah,
inviting me.
yeah, yeah. I think next time anyone comes to you with all the questions, you can always direct them to, first you listen to this and then you
Yeah,
have any questions
yeah,
remaining, then you can always contact
true,
me. I think that
true.
would
So
be a
instead of
very,
typing, I'll just share
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
this link. I said just
yeah,
see it, and you'll
yeah,
get to know everything.
yeah, yeah. So thank you. Thank you for doing
Thank,
this on a
thank you, Sachin.
weekend.